Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to squat. So before we learn how to squat, we first need to learn how to brace and how to root. For a more in-depth tutorial on how to root and how to brace, go to my channel to see a video on both, going into full detail, as well as some drills to do to learn to better brace and to root. So like all of the lifts, the setup is the most important part of the squat. For the squat, this includes both setting up under the rack, being able to get tight under the rack, as well as walking it out. And then also we want to reset up, retake our breath, re-brace, tightness again. So we're getting tight twice for the squat. We want to get tight while in the rack, bring our ribs down, brace our core, tighten our lats, and then lift the bar out of the rack. We want to walk it back in as few steps as possible. Then we want to stand tall, squeeze our glutes, take our breath again, brace, tighten our lats, and then squat. So with the squat, like all the other lifts, we want to create a pre-lift checklist that you go through. So first thing we want to do is grab the bar. You want to choose a width that allows the bar to comfortably rest beneath your traps and on top of your rear delts, but also allows you to fully tighten your lats. So there's going to be a balance between tightness and activation. If you grab too tightly or too narrow, you won't be able to fully tighten my lats, as you see here. Likewise, if I grab the bar too wide, you're also not going to be able to fully tighten your upper back, though you might be able to contract your lats better in this position. So you want to find a position that optimally allows you to tighten your back and press your back into the bar. So play around to find that position. So once you've grabbed the bar and are underneath the bar, now we want to set our ribs into position, ribs down in the bracing, and then we want to take our breath, inhaling into our belly. So again, set up under the bar, get tight, ribs down, and then inhale and brace. When we're engaging our back, we want to think about bending the bar around our back, taking the bar and bending it over our back and around. We want to tuck the elbows under and flex the lats as hard as you can. You want to be able to pull your elbows in and squeeze your lats, like doing a lat pull down. Bringing your elbows down and squeezing and flexing your lats as hard as possible. So again, pulling them in, bending the bar over your back to get really tight. So again, you want to bring your ribs down, take your breath, and then bend the bar. Make sure your core is engaged before you engage your lats. Otherwise, it's going to force you into extension. With that core tight, everything just gets tight. Okay, so again, we want to get under the bar, bring our ribs down, take our breath, brace, engage our lats. You want to walk it out with as few steps as possible. Set your feet, squeeze your glutes, stand tall, brace, and then we can squat. So we want to get tight, again, before we begin. So we're going to get tight, unrack it, walk out of the rack, stand tall, squeeze your glutes, take your breath, brace, engage your lats. A very common mistake is not standing tall first. We want to make sure we start with our hips extended, knees extended, standing tall. So don't start with soft knees. You want to stand tall, squeeze your glutes, extend your knees, brace. So again, you want to set yourself under the bar, ribs down, brace, lats, walk it out from the rack as few steps as possible. Set your feet, stand tall, breath, brace, lats, and then we can squat. So as we squat, we want to really root into the ground, twist the ground, and spread the floor using our hips. As you do this, this is going to open up space for your hips to sit down. As you sit back, opening up the top of your hamstrings and your glutes, sitting back into those glutes, finding tightness, through those glutes, you want to think about sitting back into almost a spring or a canvas as you feel tension build up through your glutes and into your posterior chain. This is where you'll often hear the knees out cue. When you hear knees out, knees out. This is actually a bad cue because just driving your knees out, the underlying mechanics of which won't necessarily be correct. However, by rooting into the ground and spreading the floor, your knees, if you watch mine, will spread out and open up just the way they're supposed to. However, your foot mechanics and hip mechanics will still continue to be correct during so. So when we're coming out of the hole on the bottom, we want to think about frickin' freight train coming from behind us, right? So you're standing on the tracks and you're all set up in your squat, right? You're down there, you're down in the hole. Boom, down in the hole. That freight train coming from behind you, you want to stop that freight train. Boom, blast yourself back. Okay? So when you're coming out of the hole, think about driving back. You want to think of driving your back. Back. Now you may think this is going to make you fall over or fall back and fall over, but it's not. Don't worry about that. When you drive back like that, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself like 3/4 out of the hole in a much better position, much more upright, in a much stronger position than you would have been getting all bent over, just driving with your legs like you normally do. So when you come out of the hole, really think about driving, boom, back, through the hips, driving through the back. Okay, so reviewing the squat now. I'm going to stand tall, squeeze my glutes, ribs down, breathe, brace my lats, sit back, spread the floor, really drive the floor open. As I drive back up, I'm going to drive my back into the bar, using my glutes, pushing my glutes forward as I drive my back. Notice how I stay tight and my spine stays neutral throughout. So here's a 377 squat. Notice how I let the weight settle, take my breath, taking my time before I go and hit the weight. Here's a 437 beltless squat. Take my time out of the rack. So I'm really going to take my time and let the weight settle. Find my position, make sure I'm good before I make my descent. I brace, descend, I'm driving back through my back. Notice how my chest position stays up. So here's the 437 one more time. I want you to watch my spine position and my chest position throughout the lift. I'm going to sit down into the hole, spreading the floor, making room for my hips. Notice how my torso angle remains the same the whole descent. So that's how you execute the squat. So it's important to remember, I want to keep your technique consistent, rep to rep to rep to rep, set to set. Day to day, month to month, you want your reps to all be exactly the same, be perfect from your warm-ups to your heavy sets. Whether it's lightweight or heavyweight, you want to treat every rep exactly the same. So you want to treat lightweight like it's heavy and heavyweight like it's light. So that means the same speed on the way down, same speed on the way up. Always trying to be as explosive and aggressive as possible without sacrificing tightness, which always comes first, and technique. Right? Technique is paramount. So if you do all of this, I'm sure your squats are going to blow up. You're going to hit new PRs really, really soon. You're going to get a ton stronger. And the squat is a fantastic exercise for getting big, for getting strong, developing a ton of muscle. Even though the squat is typically considered a leg exercise, it will also put a ton of mass on your upper body. You'll get bigger arms, a bigger chest, a bigger back by squatting some big weights. I'm really happy to come to you guys with this content and help you all how to lift. If you're interested in learning more about me or checking out any of my stuff, just check out Mastodon Strength Performance on YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram at Mastodon_strong. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.